So, good evening to all the people. I, Shivam Maheshwari, on behalf of Regex Software Services, I'm a co-founder of Regex. Welcome you on the exclusive webinar on the topic of how to get placed in product-based companies. So, this is the most searched question on the Google by the freshers and professionals. Don't worry, we will be clearing all your doubts to answer all the questions. Today we have Mohit Bhalla here. He is working as a software engineer uh, currently in Facebook in London. So, hi Mohit, good evening.
Hi Shivam.
I hope you are doing great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So, before starting, Mohit, tell us how the work is going on, and we hope like you don't have much pressure of work.
mm, Pressure wise, well, I think the timings can't be any good since you all know it's pandemic going on right now. And yeah, even if you consider work from home scenario and everything, I think it's
It's fine.
best in this situation.
This-
Yeah, I would say.
So, currently you are in London or like where?
Yeah, I am based in London, and even there I'm doing work from home, but so
Okay.
doesn't really
So jokes
matter.
apart, let me tell you guys the background of Mohit. Like Mohit is a local boy from Pink City, Jaipur, and he has graduated from MNIT Jaipur back in I think in 2013, right? I hope so. To
Yes.
2013, yeah. So when he started, he started his journey with several big ventures. Like you worked in Oracle, you worked like after Oracle, he worked in Adobe, and now he's working in Facebook as well. So Mohit, we want to know your first experience, uh, like first of all, the experience with Oracle.
Okay, so before coming to my experience, I would like to mention that Oracle was my campus placement, and I worked there for 2 years, and it was mostly Java-based work over there. And oh, doesn't really matter, but yeah, it was based in Hyderabad. I was there for 2 years over there. And work-wise, I would say starting my career with a product-based company, I think it gave me an exposure to basically what I will be doing in upcoming years of you can say.
We are seeing like many of the students like today are getting placed in product like services companies, and they are not looking for product based companies. Maybe I think they don't know about it. Like you can say as 3 tier colleges or might be some 2 tier also. So what like in college time, I want to just first know about you, how what type of student you were.
Well, I was not the topper kind of student, I can say,
Hmm.
and neither I was the backbencher. So you can say I was somewhere in middle,
You're an average guy.
kind of. And
Okay.
academics apart, I was just interested in computer science. So like I've been doing in coding and technology since class 10th in my school time,
Hmm.
and class 10th, then 11th and 12th. So they build a foundation of interest actually.
Hmm.
Like this is what I want to do in my life, something like that. And then I mean, I don't know if it's relevant or not. I also got an opportunity for IIT, but the branch was not computer science. So, it was a tough call for me
Yeah, I understand.
to,
Like it's IIT.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
so if I ask about like I've already asked about the Oracle. After Oracle,
Mhm.
can you tell us what was your package in the Oracle?
Okay, I no longer working in Oracle, so I think I can share my previous
Yeah, sure.
package. I started as a 6 LPA as a fresher over there, and don't tell me you want to know about the increments also, please.
No, I will not. But because the candidates are here and they are also looking for product-based companies and some professionals also. Like freshers wants to see for product-based, like he can get a good package in from first year only, and like fresh professionals are looking for the increments from switching from services-based to product-based companies. So
Mhm.
I want to know after like when you go for Adobe, like what difficulties you have faced or what are the challenges to go for Adobe, like after 2 years?
So, well, very first challenge was Adobe was kind of an off campus for me since I was a lateral over there at that period of time. And Oracle was something like it was served on a platter to me. Like I didn't have to go or approach them, and all the campus placement authorities, and they were handling everything.
Hmm.
So it was something like I just have to give a written test. And it was an online test actually, followed by a few sets of interviews and the package. And the difference which I will also like to mention was like obviously in campus placement you don't have an opportunity to negotiate on the package,
Yes.
but in lateral entry or in off campus you have this opportunity, like based on your interview or based on your feedback, everything you can do that part
In
also. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. You can continue.
So no, it's okay if you have some follow-up doubts.
Like as in Oracle, like if I about ask about your technical skills, like what
Mhm.
matters over there, or in any product-based companies when you are a fresher.
Well, I would say, irrespective of fresher, by the way, in any product based company, you can expect two kinds of work. Either like they would be doing something from really scratch, where everything would be built and coded from zero.
Okay,
Or there are some well based MNCs where all kind of templates and every, like, codes are already written and now you have to basically reuse them.
okay.
So in my case, in Oracle at least, it was the second case, and there was very very less opportunities for us to go for a scratch development.
Hmm.
But I would say that's something good if you are just starting. I mean, less of a
Oh,
pressure, I would
okay.
say.
Actually, we have one question from one of our candidate. Like, do college matters for product-based companies?
Well, for starting years of interviews or starting years of experience, I would say yes, college does matter.
Because I
But
think in like in NITs or in IITs, you get more opportunities.
yeah, like
That's the only
that's
main
what I
difference.
meant. Yes, as I mentioned, this was a difficult call for me to reject IIT at a particular period of time.
Hmm.
And after that, I realized there are few companies like they will be only going for IITs.
Hmm.
Followed by there are few companies which will be going only for government colleges, that is both IITs and NITs, and sometimes private colleges also, triple
Hmm.
IT or bits, not triple I, yeah, bits and all. And then comes the private colleges, rest of them. And I think the difficulty which they faces from their zeroth year, I did that in my 2 years of experience when I was looking for switch from Oracle.
So, like do you think like if the candidate, like if the student is from the third tier, and
Mhm.
like so how if they are looking for product-based companies, they want to get placed in those companies, they want a package like 8, 10, 15 as a fresher. So
Mhm.
how they can go for it?
Well, there are a few companies which doesn't really matter which background you are in, which company you have been working, or which particular college you are from. Uh,
Okay.
I'm not sure if I can name them on. Can I name them?
Yeah, you can actually, no problem.
Like for example, let's go for only one company, Amazon.
Okay.
It's really looking for talent. It has nothing to do with your past or your background or anything.
Okay.
But okay, I won't be naming the other side of the company
No,
just
okay.
for sake of.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are some other companies, XYZ, let's say, and they will really matter like which college you are from or which particular background you have been working, whether you have been working as a developer or a tester in your past experience. So they really consider so those things.
Actually,
So it's kind
one of our candidate is asking, like, as a fresher, what will be like, what approach they should go for, and like, will you suggest any tips or tricks, like, for which technical skills they should go for?
okay for technical skills. So basically, they are
Like,
in your.
he has mentioned DSA over here, and
Mhm.
rest of the things I'm asking to you.
Yeah, so data structures, obviously, you cannot avoid it. You are in computer science after all. And apart from data structures, I would really recommend to be, I won't say strong, but yeah, at least you should have a good foundation in one of the object oriented programming language. It may be C++ or Java or Python. Because trust me, I have seen resume getting rejected if you don't have them, at
The
least one of them mentioned in your resume.
okay, that's I think it's a main key for
Yeah,
this.
like personally, also in my starting years of experience, I only had Java in my my resume, and there were a few companies who were looking for C sharp or C++,
Hmm.
and my resume wasn't even getting screened.
So if I ask to you, like in when you were in fourth year and you got selected for Oracle, for which
Mhm.
companies you got rejected over there that time?
Well,
Like
you are going.
like because the thing is like if you are like how many times you have applied or what things like you make a difference over there
Mhm.
for to like you are selected for Oracle but maybe you got rejected for any other company. So like I'm not asking about the like company name, but yes,
Mhm.
what are the challenges over there and what every student should like take as a key point.
Well, in my particular experience, I felt companies were looking for obviously talent and all. They were also very much interested in CGPA or your percentage basically. Like if let's say there are two candidates and just one opening, and both the candidates are perfectly fine with respect to the interview feedback. So obviously they would go for another criteria like CGPA, as I mentioned.
Hmm,
So those are something which, again, as a student, well, obviously some of the student go for this race. I like they want to be an A plus student and everything.
hmm.
But again, I had some different analogy back then. But
Yes.
yeah, I later on felt I should have worked on my grades also at a
So
particular
So guys, let me tell you again, like Mohit got like he got placed in 2013 in Oracle, and after 2 years in 2015 he switched from Oracle to Adobe, and then after 3 years he switched from Adobe to Facebook.
five
So
actually,
sorry,
5 years. Sorry.
yeah, after 5 years, yeah, after 5 years, sorry, after 5 years he like switched from Adobe to Facebook. So like I will come on this point, but I will take one question from a participant. Like one of the candidates are asking how to switch from service-based company to product-based company who is working for 2 years in any service-based company. Like he is not a part of yet, he is not a part of any product-based companies yet. He is working in service company. So how he can switch from service to product-based company?
Well, I have seen a few candidates who have been able to convert from service-based company to product-based company, and I felt, I mean, just it's just my opinion. I'm not sure if everybody follows this or not. So, for interview point of, I could say like they give a relaxation. Like obviously they don't have an exposure or experience in a product-based company, so they give a little bit of relaxation, you can say. But again, once you start working in the product based company, let's say you have a overall experience of 4 years in industry,
Okay.
so after joining you won't be treated as a fresher obviously, right?
Yeah, no, but like if he is a guy and working in service company, that how what like points he should consider or what points he should see to go for those companies, like from where he can go for it. Like if you are in Oracle and you switch from Oracle to Adobe, so uh, that point of that journey, like how he can
Mhm.
go for it.
So well, first of all, there are two solutions for it, like step by step in my. First of all, how to approach for companies. I think I should I go and
Yeah,
give.
you can please.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are two approaches in this also. One is referral. Obviously, you could use your LinkedIn contacts or you could approach your recruiter through
I
LinkedIn
think
or anywhere.
referrals are so much important, and they
Mhm.
like they complete like 50% of work they complete from we can complete from their side. I think so.
As a
Referrals,
matter of fact, my Adobe and my Facebook both are successful referral.
successful referrals. Yeah.
Yeah. So they really helped me in getting the opportunity at the right time, you can say. Other than referral, I also highly relied upon the consultants like Okay, again, can I name or
Yeah, you
am I not
can
supposed
you
to
can
name?
do everything. I will not say like
No.
yeah, you can do anything. You can name anything.
Again, there are no personal favorite, but yeah,
Yeah,
Naukri.com, and there are many such job portals over the
the
internet. You
job
can
post over
create
there.
your account.
Yeah, you can create account and
Yes,
like we'll get some consultant over there for these things. And I think LinkedIn is also a very better place to get referrals. So
yes,
one
definitely.
should always
So
connect
this,
new candidates, new persons of other different product companies, and make new connections with them. Yeah,
yeah, it's always good to have more connections. So this is the part where you are how to approach to join a to start your initiation. Second comes how to prepare for it. Well, obviously, it is not a like one day solution
yeah.
of it. You have to focus on your data success, like some of the very good companies focuses on tree or graph, or if you go for the programming approaches, they really focuses on dynamic programming and greedy approaches. And like for my case, I highly relied upon some platforms like HackerRank or CodeChef, lead code
Lead
in
code.
my recent experiences.
Hmm.
And yeah, they were really helpful for me to develop my skills and enhance them.
Okay. One question from Pavak Tiwari. Is 10th or 12th standard CGPA matters to get in good produce companies? Or
Well,
I will add one more thing. Is like 10th, 12th, and BTech like degree like marks required for it? Like, and if yes, then how much?
okay. Well, okay, let me split the problem because the answer is both yes and no. For 10th, I would say it's more of your birth certificate. Trust me. I have 8 years of experience now, and class 10th mark sheet are nowhere asked other than your birth date
Hmm.
as a proof. But coming to 12th, well, obviously it is important since your college, for example, I gave IIT. In my case, luckily 12th was, I don't know if I should say luckily or not. 12th result was not that important. Only IIT result and other competitive results were matter. But nowadays, I believe there is a fair contribution.
Hmm.
Like a division has been created. Like you have to score equally in all the aspects, 12th as well as competitive.
12th as well as
So
competitive.
yeah, if you screw up in 12th, you are basically screwing up your good college chance. And
Okay.
as I mentioned in starting of this call, good college really matters.
But I
Like,
think this thing matters in as a fresher only. If you have a experience of
yeah,
3 to 4 years,
as a fresher,
then it would not be it would not be a issue for you to change from service based to product based
I would agree. After you gain some
knowledge.
exposure in the
Yeah,
industry with some experience, then 12th doesn't really matter that much. But at a starting point, it
it
does.
does. Uh,
Same applies to, I would say, CGP also, your college
okay,
score.
okay, yeah, college
Sorry.
scores. Yeah,
Mhm.
actually, because maximum companies go for like they want 60% without any backlog, or they want at least 60% in academics. And many of the product companies go for 75 to 80% also. I think 75%.
Mhm.
So, Mohit, we have one question from Mohit Arora. He's saying, I'm from electronics and communication and I know only Python. So, is there any chance for to go for it? I'm a fresher right now. Like, he's from
Well,
electronics and communication department.
Well, first of all, it's really good that you have interest in computer science background and jobs related to it. And secondly, it's not a blocker for you, I would say. As long as, for example, Python, if you consider, there are a lot of technologies like machine learning nowadays, AI, and all of these, which are highly relying upon Python, specifically Python, in my experience. And I think if you are really strong in Python, then there are a lot of road open for you.
Well, Mohit, if someone knows, like just take a name, like if someone is good in competitive programming, if someone is
Mhm.
not good in competitive programming, like he's don't have good exposure in DSA, but he's very good in any other skill. Like might be he's a good full stack developer. He knows like how to make logics, but he's not a good like he's not having a good problem solving skills. Like he don't know about DSA, but he's good in, because we know many candidates. I think you also know when you were in your college times. Like some candidates good in machine learning, some are good in different skills, but they are not good
Yeah.
in DSA. So this matters to get placed?
To some extent, unfortunately, this does matter. Like if you consider a series of interviews, let's say for a company, there are four set of interviews, and mostly all of them are, reject. I mean, what do we say?
Like if I
Like,
ask you, like in the
mhm.
same thing I'm adding, like if I ask you to go with like what should I go with if I'm a fresher, if I don't know anything? So from where I should start? Like if I can
So
start with Python and directly jumps into machine learning or this part, or I should go with, if I'm choosing any language, then I should go with a DSA part, and then I can add my additional skill like those machine learning and all those. So what
in my
things I should go
sorry,
for?
sorry. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
I
you
would
can.
really, really recommend go for DSA because those are actually the foundation not only for the interviews but also when you will be working in your company. Because interview really depends on how you go for problem solving and approaches. Like it's good you know the skills, you know the language from scratch and everything, but at the end you have to crack the interview. And interview, as I was saying, there could be multiple rounds, and only one or two rounds would be based on your skills.
Hmm.
Then another rounds would definitely be testing your data structures and competitive programming. I mean, I would say you are really, really lucky if you can go without it, but don't go for it.
Yeah, I
Don't
understand.
go without it, I would say.
So like what we got is like the main thing to get placed in Turkish companies is like the key point is, you can say, DSA, and
Mhm.
if we are really looking for it, then you like the candidates have to go for data structures and to make it solid, I think. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, then let's take our next question. Um, Okay, actually we have the same question, like same like questions. Yeah, some candidates are asking for, like as you said, three languages: C++, Java, and Python. So if we are
Mhm.
looking for DSA part, then, or we can say problem solving skill. So which language you will prefer,
So, okay, I
or
think I
you should suggest to our
misrepresented
candidates.
some. No, no, I think misrepresented my statement over here. So there's no hard and fast rule that these are the only three languages.
No,
There are a lot of
like
them. Like,
if like what the personal my experience is, the CPP is best, C++, because
yes,
of
yes.
many, I think you know about it. So that's the thing only I'm just asking to you, which language you will suggest to go for these, like for product based.
Well, the reason why I specifically mentioned these three languages
Hmm.
was because I've actually seen. Okay, think about the workflow process first of all, in order to understand it. Your resume, first of all, goes to an HR who is not a technical person by definition. You can
Yeah,
assume
sure.
that. Then, after HR screened it, it goes to the director or the team lead or the manager who is a technical person. So, what a HR looks in your resume, he simply matches the requirement that this requirement is based for a C++ or a Java or something like that. But let's say you don't mention Java in your resume or C++. So what are the chances that HR would take your resume to the team?
Yeah,
Very low, right?
yeah, yeah. And
So at this point of time, I would say language is a very good, I won't say barrier, but yeah, this is something which you have to make sure that you have some command, because without it you are basically blocked on the very first step. After that comes the technical person who understand that, okay, you, for example, consider C++ only. You have C++11, C++15, then 17, 14, I'm sorry.
hmm,
So again, as a technical person, he would understand that, okay, you might not have worked on the latest version of C++. That's fine. There are a lot of new concepts, smart pointer and very a lot of things. but he understand, okay, you have worked on some of the programming implementation of C++, so you would be able to adapt to the new.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
this is something you have to understand, how the workflow basically work when you when your resume goes to them.
Yeah. So I think guys are like taking so much of points, and they are taking key points from your side, and I think all the points will help them. We have a more question from Pratyuk Shrivastava. He's saying, "Sir, can we learn DSA with Python to be eligible for product based?" Like, uh,
Okay.
because as like many, if we say, or if we see, or if we ask to any expert, many of them go for Java or CPP, like C++. So can we go for Python also? And if yes, then you can tell me like the same thing. Like can he?
Mm,
Because he's saying, sir, can we learn DSA with Python to be eligible for product-based companies? And for freshers, how can we prepare ourselves to be placed in product-based companies? I think the second answer you have already given to us. You can answer the first.
so first of all, data structures, you have to understand that it is kind of independent of a programming language. You can write the same data structure in C. All you have to do is make some structures and some other not classes would come in C++ or Java. So what I'm trying to say over here is you can obviously learn data structures in Python, but I really would encourage you to go independent of your programming language. Like for example, even if, okay, for example, consider an example. I believe technical person would understand. Let's say map. It's a data structures. We all are aware of it. So in C++, it's ordered map, unordered map. While in Java, it's hash map, trees map, and all sort of defined classes, derived classes.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, all you need to know is how are they different. Like for example, ordered map, as its name suggests, it's a sorted map based on the key. And similarly, it's similar concept goes in tree map in Java, where again I won't go in much of technicality over here. But yeah, point
Sure.
is, all you need to understand that how you would use a map, whether you would be taking a sorted map in this approach or an unsorted map. After that comes which language, which particular class you have to use in order to implement it.
Okay. I will ask like if we are talking about technical things, so I will ask about the STL. Like, is it plays a role, a good role?
I would ask you to define SPL. What is SPL? Sorry,
STL, like standard. Hello. Actually, I didn't
programming.
get your
Yeah,
voice properly.
yeah. Just what is SPL?
Not SPL, STL, STL.
SPL.
I just standard template library.
STL. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I was hearing SPL. Yeah,
No.
STL. Now I know. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, STL specifically, if you are talking about C++, right? I
Yeah.
am assuming.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, yes. STL definitely plays a very good role. Like the reason, like personally, this is a reason for me. My favorite language is Java. You know why?
Okay. No, actually, I don't. You
Because
can.
okay, that was a rhetorical question, by the way. So yeah, the reason why Java is my favorite because it has got a lot of. I'm by the way, I'm just comparing C++ and Java over here.
Okay.
Like a code in Java, you got much of a flexibility to write it in, like a very short and crispy way.
Hmm.
You have all the kinds of classes defined and everything. Like there are hardly sometime any chance you would be creating your own derived class based on some of the existing classes,
Hmm. Okay.
unless the situation asks for it. So yeah, same concept goes for STL, standard template library in C++. And over there, this also gives you an opportunity to use some of the predefined APIs, some predefined methods and procedure
Hmm.
functions where you need not have to rewrite the existing code again and again.
Yeah. Actually, one is asking, Yash is asking like how to apply DSA practically. I think Yash, you can like if you have learned the concepts of DSA, then you can apply those things and you can see new problem solving questions in different platforms. As Mohit told us about the HackerRank, Lead Code, CodeChef, Code Forces, you can apply your knowledge over there, you can apply the concepts over there, and more the questions you will do, like more experience and more new things you will get. So it will help you, I think. The second that question is, uh, one like Deepak Mohan is asking, like, do product-based companies hire freshers for data science roles, directly for data science or machine learning
Mm,
roles?
well, a tricky question. I am not sure if I would be
Yeah,
right
I
person to
also think
answer.
like they don't, because the rounds are based on DSA much,
Yes, yes,
and if you don't know the DSA part, then it like always the machine learning, big data, and any other skill is your additional skills. But the main quality skill, if you are looking for any, if you are looking to crack any product-based company interview, then always DSA will help you.
yes. Basically, you are at a disadvantage if you don't
Yeah,
go for DS.
it's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Someone is asking about the ethical hacking in product-based companies. Like if he knows about the
Mm,
same like question like ML. Like he is a, I think he is a ethical hacker, and he is looking to get a job in product-based company as an ethical hacker.
well, I would say it's a plus point to mention it in your resume. But again, as long as the requirement of this role is not related to hacking, I'm not sure if that would really matter. But yeah, again, it's a good thing to mention in your resume as a plus point.
Okay. Well, one student, Pratyush, is asking, sir, there is a myth that CP is not good with Python.
Mm, I think it's a myth only and not a true fact, because a lot of programming languages, there are both advantages and disadvantages of different programming languages. Like if you really consider Python is really best as compared to C++, then you wouldn't find a lot of code base in C++ in this industry. So there are some limitations, some advantages of why let's not go for Python. We don't have to use all those implemented binaries and everything. We can do it on a small scale, like with C++ and everything. So again, based on your requirement, based on what you actually want to implement,
Yeah, it's
the
like
languages.
it's totally based on requirement and the skill you are looking for. Okay.
Yes.
Like one student, like Rajni, I think one of our candidate is asking, like, I'm inclined to data analytics and artificial intelligence. Now, I want to work for Facebook. What should be my focus area?
Okay. Well,
Like
I know a few
before this I
people.
want to ask you, like, from, I already asked like how you, like from Oracle to Adobe journey. I want to ask from, like your journey from Adobe to Facebook, because you worked for 5 years in Adobe, and then you switched from Adobe to, like you were in Noida and you work, now you switched for Facebook directly in London. So how's your experience, and like how you did this?
Well, experience wise, I would say it took me almost 6 months to crack Facebook. Like the 6 months I'm starting from the day I gave my first interview, or you can say the day I started preparing actually.
Yeah.
And eventually, with the more and more interviews I was giving, more and more competitive programmings I was doing on the platforms, my skill set, it was a kind of 5 years of dry state for me. I was not at all involved in competitive programming, which I'm not saying you should do. That is really, really not something I'm proud
Hmm.
of. Like obviously, if I would have been doing those programming over the period of time, it wouldn't have taken me so long. Like
So
six
now,
months, I think is a
yeah.
really big question mark. Why something like that? Secondly, I would say the interviews and everything basically gave me an very good experience, what I'm doing wrong, like what am I missing, or what should be my strong point, what are my weak points, what should I more focus on, and all sort of things. I won't name the company. For a specific interview, I understand that my greedy algorithm
Hmm.
strategies are not that good, so I specifically look for those particular sets of question on the platforms. And once I was able to, so not just the questions, actually the discussions also on these platforms, if you really go through them, and how they discuss, like how they tell you the pros and cons, that it would be best case, it would could go for a worst case, and all sort of things. It gives you all together different perspective,
Hmm.
which I think was a very, very wonderful thing I should mention about
Hmm.
these platforms.
Okay.
Obviously, questions and
Yeah, questions, because we are getting so much of questions, and like
yeah,
samples. It's like a samples over there. So
yeah.
Mohit,
Eventually, it was the exposure. Yes.
yeah, it's so Mohit, like, can you tell me about the rounds you got in Facebook? Like, how many rounds over there in the interview?
Well, in Facebook, okay. Let me first mention it was a pre-COVID interview,
Okay.
so not exactly all the rounds were like it. They are currently used to go. All the rounds are done in video call,
Hmm.
since the traveling and everything are restricted. For me particularly, there was one particular screening round, followed by, once I got qualified for the screening. After that, there was an on-site round. I was called to London back then,
Okay.
and there were four more interviews. So in this, I should also mention Facebook interviews, and not just Facebook, a lot of other companies, Google, and there are a few more. They are really, really strict to time based.
Okay.
Like 40 minutes are strict for question answers, your interview basically, and
Hmm.
5 minutes for your cross questioning if you want to know anything about Facebook or the team or work, anything. So it was like 41st minute, and that's it.
So
They
in
won't really
this,
consider.
how many coding rounds were there?
There were two data structures round in which I had a total of four questions, 20 minutes each, if you can precisely break them.
Okay.
Followed by, there was one behavior round, totally 40 minutes,
It's
followed by
like a
one
HR round.
design round. Not exactly HR round. It was basically a team fit round, like
Okay.
what kind of work you have already done, how you have basically handled a tricky situation. Like they would give you some hypothetical scenarios, like let's say there was some deadline, then how did you approach, and all sort of things. So I believe in 7 years of experience, you almost go through some
Yeah,
scenarios
yeah, I
in your life.
understand. Yeah, you
So
actually know too many things in this,
mhm.
like,
So behavior round is simply how you basically behaved in those scenarios.
yeah. So let me take another question now. Um, I have first division throughout. I have like one is asking, um, any good source for learning DSA?
Well, if you go for
You can.
again, can I mention a personal favorite over here?
Yeah, you can. It's okay.
Okay, like my recent experience with lead code was really, really fantastic, and I'm not saying HackerRank and CodeChef are not that good or something like
Hmm.
that, but yeah, I used to do on HackerRank in my college time, followed by CodeChef during my Adobe transition, and eventually I did lead code. So it was just my last experience with lead code. So good. That's why it's my personal favorite, I would say.
And like, as you have a good experience, so because and you have switched from one to second and second to third, so like, is the experience also matters? Like to switch
Exactly.
from, like, if someone is, like, just take a scenario, if someone is in service company, and then he is looking or she is looking for product company, then how many years he or she should work in service company, like how much time he should be there to, like, to crack a good interview for product base.
Well, I would say anything less than 1 year is actually treated as a fresher at the end of day.
Okay.
And more than 1 year, even 1.5 or 2 years or anything, that actually matters. So even if you are basically going for a company, I would say don't switch so frequently. At least stay for a year or more than that, and just take the all kind of exposure you can. Because trust me, less than 1 year, if you are switching again, it obviously gives a bad impression to your resume. like you're not a consistent player or something like that. And director rounds and other higher management rounds really focuses on this kind of consistency, whether you are a team fit, whether you are a team player or not, or how you, what you are actually seeking in your life.
Yeah, actually, it matters. Actually,
So
yeah. Well,
mhm.
Mohit, I want to one question again. Like you were in Oracle and you already have shared your package. I want to ask, like after 2 years, you have switched from Oracle to Adobe. So I want to
Mhm.
know, and I think candidates also wants to know, like that time, like after 2 years when you switched from six. So like what package you got there in Adobe?
So Adobe, my starting package was 6, and I really have to mention it's a really tricky situation you are putting me into.
Well,
But
actually,
when
the thing is, what we have talked earlier also, and like guys, let me tell you, actually, I think it's 38, right?
my last package, like at the time of leaving Adobe,
So
it was
guys,
38.
at the time of leaving the Adobe, he has a package of 38, and he started his journey from Oracle from 6 LPM. So the main thing is, if you are if you got a company, like if you got services company, or if you got any product based company also, like, and you have got like a low package like 3.54 or something else, then I think life is not over. Still, if you prepared for product but you got this, so life is not over. If you are really looking for it, then you have to move on for more and more. You have to crack different interviews. You have to apply for different interviews, and you can see we have one example over in front of you only. And in 7 years of time, like from Rackle to Adobe, and now he is in Facebook in London. I will not ask the package of like current, but you can imagine from your side. You all can imagine.
Thank you for not asking my current package. That would have
Yeah.
been tricky.
So, like, can you give like the candidates some tricks, some tips or tricks, like what they should go for the last thing?
So first of all,
And
again,
again,
any.
I'm adding one more thing over here. Like one student is asking how to apply for job in foreign countries and what are the perks these companies give to employ.
So, like as I mentioned, my both the switches were successful referrals only at the end of day. So I would say connect to as many people as you can, because sometimes HRs or the recruiter have got a lot of requests and a lot of pile. You can say they somehow miss. They can miss your resumes over there.
Referrals
So
helps you.
don't. Yeah, referral is something. It's on a dashboard in a company's dashboard, and it can never go for a miss. Like at the end of day, the person who have referred you can also push HR. Can you let me know the status or anything like that? So do take advantage of this thing. Connect with as many people as you can, and humbly request them. I don't think anyone would deny
Yeah.
referring you.
Yeah, and like some tips you want to give to all the participants.
So, as Shivam also mentioned, it's not the end of the day, even for if you are starting as a low LPA career. Like for me, trust me, I also believe like 6 was a bit low, but again, as I'm currently in Facebook, and so it's not the end. Actually, I would say it's the journey, and the journey is how you prepare, how you basically enhances your skills, how you basically go for a level up in your data structures or in competitive programming. Like there are several new questions, new types of questions coming in the interviews or on the forums or on these platforms. I think you should really have to have a grasp of it.
Yeah, actually, someone is asking for like how you get referrals for Facebook. Then, then Tiger Lord is asking, I think. Well, I think Tiger, it's depend as the Mohit mentioned over here. like you should connect to as much as you can, like as much people you can on LinkedIn, or for like from any place. So I but LinkedIn is the best place to connect with those people who are working in those companies. Like in Facebook, if you are looking for Amazon, then connect to Amazon like guys. But only through connecting, only through connecting, it won't like you will get a job over there or they will refer you. It depends on your CV also, it depends on experience also, it depends how you work, like many things matters over there. So you should make like a strong CV, a strong, like as you mentioned that data structures matters a lot, like these things.
You should develop your skills and
Develop
then
this,
make a strong CV.
yeah, strong CV. So I think the questions, we have like same questions over here, and let me see if someone has. Mm, okay, so I think many of the candidates have the same thing. Is there any extra thing, if I will ask to you, any extra thing which you will say, like you, like in 2013 you don't know about it, like but you regret this time? Is there anything?
Mm,
Like if you say like sometimes we say that, like I'm regretting that thing, but if I did that, then maybe now I'm on a more good stage, like this.
uh,
No regret.
I mean, I'm not able to
Yeah,
think as of now.
so
There
guys,
might be.
the thing is, uh, prepare yourself, prepare as much as you can, make your strong CV. If you are in service company, if you are in service company, if you are looking to switch for it, then take referrals from, connect as much as like connect new people as much as you can, and go with new referrals. And now the thing is, you are in Facebook and the candidates are asking, have you met Mark Zuckerberg?
Well, because of the COVID and pandemic, answer is no. I am still working from home in my accommodation over there.
Okay, so guys, let me some share you something with, let share something with you. Like, just wait. Guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I think something got wrong. Okay, yeah. So let me. Okay, I think I did, like, okay. Uh, just wait a second. Okay, guys. So I think we can end this meeting, and I think we have answered all the questions. So thank you so much, Mohit, for being here with us.
Thank
And
you actually for giving me this opportunity.
that's not okay. So thank you so much, guys. And I think you don't have any more questions. Well, there is no feedback link, Akash, for this. You can give your feedback on over here. So we have bot over on Facebook itself. Sorry, on YouTube chat itself. So he will, like from there we will get like how many candidates and like you have joined on like these things. Okay, so thank you, Mohit, for sharing your experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivam, for your time.
Yeah,
Have a good day.
have